Good morning, everyone. It is November 21st, 2019, and this is the Post Falls Urban Renewal Commission meeting for the month of November. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask the Executive Director for a roll call, please.
Thank you. Good morning. Coles?
Here.
Davis?
Here.
Baltzell?
Here.
Carstensen?
Here.
And Crosby?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioners Horn, Clemenson have an excused absences this
Okay,
morning.
we do have a quorum. Would you please rise and help Pledge of Allegiance with me? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. We'll start out with the agenda. I see we have some visitors. Make sure you get an agenda at the front door. Ceremonies, appointments, and announcements. Do we have any to bring up to anyone? Do you want to have anything you want to say, Jesse, about your chief? Okay, I think it was announced in the paper yesterday that Chief Warren Merritt will be retiring the end of December, I believe it is, after a number of years of leading our fire department and rescue people. So our best goes out to him and his family, and we look forward to the future with him. Any conflict disclosures to report from any of the commissioners on anything that's on the agenda today? Seeing none, we'll move right on to the consent calendar.
Thank you. Item A in the consent calendar is the commission meeting minutes of October 17th. Item B is the payables for this month totaling $6,612.88. Item C is a bank activity report, which shows total in all funds of $4,416,637.09, with accrued interest for the month of $6,515.02. Item D is the financial reports as of October 31st. Your approval of the consent calendar will authorize transfer of $6,515.02 accrued interest to the general fund and transfer to the First Interstate Bank checking account of $6,612.88 for the general payables. Mr. Chairman, I would answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions for Diane?
Move to approve the consent calendar.
We have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
We got a second? Any further discussion? That's a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, yeah.
Coles?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Baltzell?
Aye.
Carstensen?
Aye.
Crosby?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Committee updates, Finance and Policy. Commissioner Crosby.
Committee reviewed the financial statements and all the backup for each of the bank deposits and statements, and had no problems or issues, and we approved them. We're also waiting for one more piece of data from the treasurers, County Treasurer's Department, before we'll be able to do a cash flow projection for each of our districts that we're closing in the next 3 years, and provide that to the city for some guidance.
Okay, will you be working with the District Review Committee on that process?
It's simply a projection of the tax increment, but we could certainly coordinate with them and bring it to the council, to the commission before we share it with the city.
Very good, thank you. Okay, District Review.
I have nothing at this time, but I think it's probably time we schedule a meeting and sit down and visit.
Yeah, especially in looking down the road the next 2 to 3 years with the districts that are closing, and as Commissioner Crosby suggested previously, that looking at it from the standpoint of with each of these districts, analyzing as best we can how they went together, what could we have done better, what worked, what didn't work, kind of thing, just to how goes it on the processes going forward, so we kind of have a little bit better idea of what some things to watch out for and some things to consider. Okay, Communications, Property, and Personnel, Commissioner Carstensen.
Nothing exciting, except I agree with Coles that we should probably have a meeting the first part of the year just to look at planning for what we think for communications, property, and personnel for the next year.
Okay. Very good. And I think that the I think we should be having a strategic planning meeting going forward for the next several years. It's been a while since we've actually held one, probably 2 or 3 years, and it's time now to take a look at that, especially with the potential of a couple of different new districts, or 2 or 3. And so we'll be having an executive committee meeting immediately following this meeting to discuss timing of that, but my guess it'll be sometime in January, and then we'll advise all of you when that is going to be taking place. Okay, moving on. Citizen comments. This section of the agenda is reserved for citizens wishing to address the commission regarding an agency-related issue. Comments related to future public hearings should be held for that public hearing. Persons wishing to speak will have 5 minutes. Any citizens out there that would like to make any comments? Okay, all right. Unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business at this time?
No.
Okay. And we do have some new business. Would you like to march us through that, please, Diane?
Certainly. Item A is Welch Comer task order for J.R. Watson and Associates in the Expo District. The agency has received a request for reimbursement from J.R. Watson for public improvements on Creative Way, Expo Parkway, and Jacqueline Roads in the Expo District. Welch Comer has submitted a task order to review the reimbursement at a cost not to exceed $3,200. This cost is a little higher than previous reviews, as it is more complex due to the memorandum of agreement that was signed back in 2017 between the proponents of Centerpoint and Expo. And that agreement governs the design and construction of certain public improvements located within those 2 districts. So Welch Comer will do their review and then send back a recommendation for reimbursement. And I expect that either in December or January. And I see Matt Gillis is here. If anybody has any questions on that. Otherwise, a motion would be in order to accept the Welch Comer Task Order 19-01.
Any questions for this item on the reimbursement? If not, I'd entertain a motion to.
Can you just kind of outline what this is for, in both instances?
Okay, for Expo, they did work for J.R. Watson in Expo. They did work on Creative Way. That's the completion of that road. And then Expo Parkway and Jacqueline Roads. And the agreement also had in their portion of the sewer lift station that was done in Centerpoint, which Wadsworth completed.
Yes.
And so they've already paid them for that. So then this is added on to their reimbursement amount. The reimbursement amount is like $865,000 for Expo. But they have all the proof and everything. It's quite a large one, quite complex, so.
Okay. Any other questions?
Does that answer your question?
It does, but, so I'm sorry, what was the amount that we're agreeing to
It's,
obligate ourselves?
well, it's $865,000 is the total. But then Welch Comer will go through, and verify all the costs and everything, and it could possibly be less than that.
So the approval is just for Welch Comer to give their recommendation, right? Not for the approval of?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll all come back in either in December or January.
And the 3,200 is not to exceed 3,200, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Please note that although the task orders are both for Welch Comer, they're on totally separate items, so we'll be voting on them separately.
Correct.
So I would entertain a motion on the first one.
I would move the approval of that task order.
I'd second it.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any further questions? If not, roll call vote, please.
Coles?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Baltzell?
Aye.
Carstensen?
Aye.
Crosby?
Aye.
Thank you. So item B is the Welch Comer's task order for Pointe Partners for their portions in the Centerpoint District. Again, the agency has has received a request for reimbursement from Pointe Partners for public improvements on Expo Parkway and Jacqueline Road, which lie in the Center Point District. Welch Comer has submitted a task order to review the reimbursement at a cost not to exceed $2,000. And that's just for the construction part of Jacqueline Road and the engineering portion of it, of that roadway.
Okay.
I move the approval of that task order.
I'd second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Coles?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Baltzell?
Aye.
Carstensen?
Aye.
Crosby?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carried on both sides. All right, staff report and updates.
The only thing I have is the CDs at Washington Trust Bank matured on November 2nd, and per the third amendment to the note purchase and security agreement for the Greens Ferry overpass loan, each year the reserve fund is adjusted to 10% of the loan balance. And so as a result, $94,775 will be applied to the principal of that loan. And that will all show up on next month's financials.
And then those CDs will be, the Cedar CDs will be renewed.
Correct. This Cedars, it will be renewed, and then another $250,000 CD. That leaves I think it brings the total of the reserve down to $329,502.
Okay. Any questions on any of that? Okay, thank you for that report. Anything else, Diane, on the staff report?
No. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. Commissioner comments? Any commissioners have anything they'd like to comment on before we?
I'd like to echo the chairman's comments with regard to Chief Merritt. He's been a wonderful addition to our community and has been a partner in urban renewal with us, and we look forward to continuing that relationship with Chief Ryan in his role as interim chief, and also to recognize the fact that we're losing also to a retirement Superintendent Jerry Kane, who's been also a wonderful partner and a great member of our community. So
Okay, thank
we're
you.
going to miss them both.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anything else? Anybody? Okay, under chairman comments, I would just like to, I'm not going to say any nice things about Chief Merritt because we already did, but we do have somebody in the audience who has been doing a tremendous job in consistently attending our meetings and going back and briefing. Chief Merritt is probably the most knowledgeable person of our entities that we work with regarding urban renewal, but it's largely because of this young lady out here, Jessie, and coming to the meetings and staying on top of what's going on and then going back and briefing him. And so you're doing a great job, and I thank you for that. Okay, I don't have any other comments other than all of you and your families have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Be safe. Looks like we might get some white stuff, but you never know. So, no other comments?
Our 3-and-3 meeting this week was,
Yeah, you want to make a comment on that? Sorry, I missed
yeah.
that.
we met, when was it, Tuesday?
Yes.
And talked about existing districts and stuff going on around the community, and also talked a little bit about the Pleasant View potential and City Center. We talked about City Center, some of the things going on down there. It was a pretty good meeting.
Yeah, it was. Thank you for reminding me of that. Anybody else? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Move. Second on that? I guess we got a second. We got two firsts. Okay, and we can just do voice vote on that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned.